Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Megan with Incredible Techniques. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I want to share with you how to make this card. So hopefully you can see this, but it says sugar and spice make Christmas nice. And then on the inside I've stamped wishing you a season of warm memories and sunny smiles, and stamped the holly leaves, I guess, on here as well. So like I said, this card comes together quick and simple. I have gone ahead and done the cutting and some of the coloring in advance as well, because I didn't want to bore you guys. Everybody knows how to color. I will say I used Stampin' Blends on this, but you could use markers or colored pencils, whatever you have. This is a lot of fun coloring this. But again, this is the card that we're making. And this one I really love because it comes together so quick and simple. It took me the longest just to color this, but it's just so relaxing just to stamp a bunch of these and color them all at once. Today's project is using the So Santa stamp set. This comes from the 2018 holiday catalog. If you do not have a catalog and you need one and you're here in the United States, please get a hold of me. There are links in the description below with multiple ways where you can get a hold of me and request a catalog, or you can leave a comment for me below the video and I will be sure to reach out to you and get your mailing address. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on today's project. All of the supply list and dimensions, measurements, all that stuff will be in the description below. But I have a gray card base. I have my Whisper White. This is going to go on the inside panel. And I have cut a little strip here. This is going to be the sentiment that we stamp that's going right here on the outside of our card. And let's just go ahead and get started with our stamping. I've already mounted all of my stamps. This one is for the sentiment here on the outside. I'm using Cherry Cobbler ink on this one. I'm just going to ink that up. And I'm going to just center this onto this panel. Okay, so you see we've got that done. I'm going to set that off to the side. Next, I'm going to bring in my inside panel. I'm going to go ahead and close this ink pad up so it doesn't dry out. This is the inside card panel, and I'm going to go ahead and first stamp the sentiment. I'm using Old Olive ink for this one. So you see, turn it around so you can see it. So we have that. And then I'm going to be stamping along the bottom the holly leaves here. And this one, you could use the Stamparatus if you wanted. I didn't really feel like I needed that, but it does take a little bit of patience because I am going to have to line this up. And all I'm doing, you may not be able to see very well on video, but I'm lining up the edge of this rubber stamp with the edge of the cardstock. So, and then I'm sort of eyeballing where I left off. So some of the leaves, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a scrap piece of paper because this is going to stamp off on me. So just any scrap paper you have on hand will work just fine. And just one more time. So you see, we have that. Quick and simple. We are done with our stamping. I should also mention though, again, this is our focal image for the front of the card. And on this one, if you're going to use Stampin' Blends, you do need to make sure that you're using the Memento Tuxedo Black ink so that when you color with the Stampin' Blends, it doesn't make the black bleed into any of the other colors or into the white of the cardstock. Okay, so I could go ahead and grab my adhesive here. I'm using Stampin' Up! Snail adhesive for this project. And I'm just going to go ahead and place some of this adhesive on the back panel of the inside of this card and adhere that to centering it to the inside. Okay, so now you have, that's the inside panel. Now for the outside, all I've done is I've cut multiple strips of designer series paper in different colors here, and all I'm going to do is start adhering these to the card. I want to leave about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So I'm just going to eyeball that to start with. I'm going to put adhesive on the back of that. And I'm going to be very generous with this adhesive because I don't want it coming up. So again, I'm going to leave about 1/4 inch on both sides and at the top. I'm just eyeballing it and then adhere that down. I'm going to go ahead and place the bottom one, and I'll show you why I do this. The way you could do this in any order you want, but I recommend starting either in the middle or do the top, bottom, and then the middle and work from there, because it just makes it easier to line and space out all of your pieces. Okay, so that's my bottom one. The middle one is this plaid. I'm going to go ahead and place that one. Then I'll do the second one and the fourth one here. All you're doing is layering, and you can use this card design with any other designer series papers that you like and you need to use up scraps. This is a great way to use up some of those scraps. So placing that, and again, I'm just spacing, I'm leaving the same amount of space between each of these. And then this is our last designer strip here. Same thing with this one, I'm leaving equal space between the layers. The next thing I'm going to do is take the back of, well, let me first go ahead and attach the sentiment here. And I'm going to just leave a little bit of the gray here at the bottom and cover up just a tad bit of this white, just like that. Then on the back of this, I'm going to add some dimensionals. This pops it up onto our card a little bit and just gives it some extra interest. I'm going to put one last dimensional in the center because most likely this card will be mailed. So I want to make sure that it doesn't sag when it goes through the machine. I'll peel the backing of this, peel the backing off. And then I'm just going to place this about right there. Wherever you want on your card is just fine. And that's all there is to it. It's just a really fun, quick, simple card. But I love all the patterns and textures in here. So again, check the description below for all of the supply list for this card and the dimensions and measurements. I hope you enjoyed this project. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, if you would please give it a thumbs up for the like. And also, if you have not already done so, please subscribe to my channel. I typically post at least once a week, although I will say I have missed a couple of weeks because I had some illness and some personal loss that I was dealing with. But typically I post once a week, so please check back weekly. If you have any questions about this card, feel free to leave your questions or comments below the video and I will be happy to answer those. Until next time, have an incredible day.